Welcome to another edition of the Individual Training Series. My name is Kamal DeGregory, and today I'll be introducing you to your best friend. Who is your best friend? Well, quite frankly, it's a wall. Why is a wall your best friend? Well, a best friend is someone who you can count on all the time. Yes, it's nice to train soccer skills on the field with other soccer players, but who will be there all the time to work on your passing, receiving, and striking? You guessed it, a wall. You can find walls everywhere. Your local racquetball court, a big ledge, or just go in your backyard and build one. With a wall, you can train every soccer skill that you're allowed to. I say the word allowed because before you go kicking the ball against any surface, make sure you have an adult's permission, namely your parents or your soccer coach. Now that we've got all that permission stuff out of the way, let's get into some wall work.
To warn you, we are not going to show how to perform every skill that we will be training. It is up to you to learn the basics of how to do these skills. Maybe by looking at 6-minute soccer skills. That is where you'll establish your foundation. Here is where you'll practice, rip, and be smooth. So we will set up some guidelines for your wall work by giving you time frames, distances, and exercises to work with. But when you're on the quarter field, it's up to you to choose which exercises to use and the amount of time you will spend on them. We are here to give you ideas, and the rest is up to you. Before you start any of these workouts, you should be warmed up. Basic workout. Anytime you are training soccer, you must have a rhythm. This goes especially when you're working against the wall, because you are controlling your environment. Any quick or harsh movements is done by you, not the wall. If a ball comes flying back at you at 40 miles an hour, it's your bad, not the walls. You should want to maintain a nice flowing rhythm that will allow you to finish a move and be ready for the next one. If you break your rhythm, don't force your way back into it. Take it smooth and start again. That is the only way you'll perform with ease. Second, imagine a line to your target. All of us have imaginations. Now it's time to use it. See a line extending in both directions from the wall to your target. Run your leg along that line when you are passing or striking the ball. If the ball goes in another direction, then straight back to you, your leg is not swinging straight along that line, or your plant foot is not set correctly. This workout should last 10 to 15 minutes. 7 to 10 of those minutes should be work done 3 to 4 yards away from the wall, which we call short. The last 5 to 7 minutes should be done around 10 yards away, which we call long. Two touch, 1 foot. You'll be 4 yards away from the wall, and we're just getting into it. This is the easiest and most important thing you can do, so enjoy it. It's the most important because receiving and passing well is the base for every good soccer player. It's easy because you can take your time. It's just you and the wall. One touch, slow and smooth. You'll be 3 to 5 yards away from the wall and taking it easy, trying to pass the ball as calmly and smoothly in rhythm as possible. Try to duplicate the same straight swing and fluid motion each time you pass the ball. Challenge yourself to get 6 or 7 smooth ones in a row. One touch, elevated. Scooch up to about 2 to 3 yards away from the wall. Rhythm is super important for this, as well as balance. Your kicking foot should stay elevated constantly as you pass the ball against the wall. For your plant foot, you need to be on your toes and ready to react to the ball's quick changes. Two touch, 1 foot, stop with sole. Same two touch, 1 foot, but when you receive the ball, receive it with the sole of your foot. Keep light, steady, and have a good bounce to your step. You should feel an increased comfort level coming to your skills. Two touch rectangle. You'll be 4 to 5 yards away from the wall. First, you must imagine a rectangle. As the ball comes to 1 foot from the wall, you pass it straight to your other foot, then back to the wall. Rhythm is your friend big time for this one. Once you've got it down, everything else is cake. Two touch triangle. You'll be 3 to 4 yards away from the wall, and you'll have to imagine a triangle. The wall and your 2 feet are the points. The ball must travel along those lines. So it's a diagonal pass to the wall, receive it with 1 foot, then make a flat pass to your other foot, and then pass again to the wall. One foot, stop with sole, strike with laces, foot elevated. Big title, small challenge. Rhythm, rhythm, rhythm. With a nice one, the ball will follow your lead. Receive, strike. Receive, strike. As smooth as you can be. If you encounter a problem, just go back to the rhythm. Easy as pie. One touch laces with foot elevated. Get around 2 yards away from the wall. Beautiful. One touch strikes. Just getting used to the feeling of hitting the sweet spot. Yes, the sweet spot is located around the laces. Balance and precision will keep the ball under control. Realize how gentle you can be. Not everything is full power. Striking full technique. Position yourself around 5 yards away from the wall. And we're just working on our total striking technique. It's easy to cheat against the wall when you're doing strikes, because the ball, whether it's good or bad, will come back to you. So, know this, that you must do the full striking technique to be successful at scoring goals. So with each strike, follow through.
Chilling at the top of my game, nothing new by the way, what up with you? True? Yo, bro, a beat hit me up last night. Said he wanted to make one, take one.
Proper underhand throw. For any service in soccer, you should use an underhand throw. No, it's not glamorous, but it's the easiest to judge. So 2 hands under the ball and release it at the same time. Self-throw laces. We are going to use our trusty self-throw to work on receiving balls with our laces. As the ball comes back off the wall, open your laces up for whichever foot you choose and gently rest the ball down. You will find yourself reacting to balls much faster in the game, and oh, you won't be afraid of the ball anymore. Self-throw thigh. You'll be 5 yards away from the wall. Use the self-throw, then on the rebound, receive the ball with your thigh. Make sure you have it under control, then grab it and repeat. 15 receptions for each leg should be fine.
Of my flows and play it over a beat to see how it goes. I told him you can lay the groove on the rose piano. Beats down. Now all I need is your consent.
Turning with the inside of the foot. Stay about 5 yards away from the wall, and as the ball returns from your pass, simply turn it with the inside of your foot. There's no problem if your turns aren't super fast. We are just working on the technique of turning. So let's just get comfortable with the movements involved. So grab. You'll be 5 or 6 yards away from the wall. This time, on the pass, allow the ball to go by you. Then grab it and pull it back. Snag that thing from behind to back in front of you. Then pass it to the wall for the next round. The feint. Position yourself about 5 to 6 yards away from the wall. It will be a simple pass to the wall, and as the ball returns, you should take a nice big step to it. Then swivel the hips to run with it. You will be surprised how effective a quick hip swivel will be in the game.
Now all I need is your consent. I bet. Let's jet to his house. I'll call it right now to let him know we're coming over. Melody and harmony is there. Ooh.
Are you ready to slide tackle on the concrete? No way.
Now all I need is your consent. I bet. Let's jet to his house. I'll call it right now to let him know we're coming over. Melody and harmony is there.
Two-touch strike. You'll be 8 to 10 yards away from the wall. And this is about precision. So pick a place on the wall that you want to hit and go for it. Try to keep the ball as low as possible. First, because it's tougher for keepers to save, and secondly, you won't have to chase your ball if it goes over.
Yeah.
Two-touch strike in a direction. This is going to be the same as the normal two-touch strike, but when you receive the ball, direct it to someplace different from right in front of you. This is for if a defender is running up at you. A quick sidestep and then strike.
Yeah.
Push pass to a strike. We will be striking the ball with one touch, so for control, we begin with a pass against the wall to set us up. Then we strike it. The pass is to give us some control and keep us calm, because strikes can get out of hand real quick.
Melody and harmony is there. Ooh, and I can't make it. They got a family affair. But hi-hat is there. Baseline too. She's been dreaming to do a track with you.
Basic long headers. You'll be 5 to 7 yards away from the wall, and for starters, you can toss the ball to yourself and then head it towards the wall. Then as you get more confident, do the old self-toss, yes, and head the ball back in the air for defensive headers or towards the ground for offensive headers.
Yeah. A groove hit me up at the crib. Speaking, what's up, black man? How you live? Cool to be chilling at the top of my game. Nothing new, by the way, what up with you? True. Yo, bro, a beat hit me up last night. Said he wanted to make one, take one of my flows and play it over a beat to see how it goes.
All right, come on. Come with me. We gotta do some talking. It's a big question you just asked me. I have to do my best with it. The biggest problem with coaching soccer in the U.S., if you don't have a soccer-rich culture, say 60, 70 years of soccer pulsating in your culture, then you really don't know exactly what the game's about. The average person is not savvy in soccer. So, what we run into in the US is that what we don't know about soccer, we end up substituting what we do know about other sports. All right, stop right here. Hey! Listen to me, please. What we do know in the US is we know football and baseball. Don't get me wrong, these are great sports. In high school, I played football. But this is the thing. They are fun, yes, they're fun, but they are fundamentally different than soccer. Fundamentally different. Their goal is different. Yes, it's to score, it's to win the game, but in the implementation, it's different. Football and baseball are technically based sports where you have to have very good technique to be successful. The same thing is true with soccer. It is a highly technical sport, but there's a whole other aspect of creativity that you have to have in soccer or you can't be successful. So for example, in baseball, runner's on first. How much creative freedom does he have when he's on first? That's just a question for you to answer for yourself. And say football. We're talking about creative freedom. We're talking about the fundamental differences in soccer toward these other sports. So in football, the coach decides, let's run this play. Say it's a halfback run right. So he sends the play in. Quarterback gets the play, calls the play. Everyone's on the same page. They already know what they're going to do. He gets the ball, pitches it off to the halfback. The halfback grabs it, starts to run right. Now maybe his creative freedom starts to begin because now he can start to bob and weave or juke or whatever you want to call it, and the blockers have to block in their certain section. But those are all laid out and called for them. On the soccer field is where it's different. This is where you've got the ball at your feet. You've got 120 yards to go to get it into the goal. You've got your 10 teammates around you and 11 guys against you. And you got a million ways to get that ball into the goal. Yes, you've got a game plan, but in implementing that game plan, we're supposed to allow for the creativity, the openness of the game. That is the difference in the sports. So that's the biggest problem in coaching soccer in the U.S. is having to understand it. Voila!
Advanced workout. Remember to mix in the basic moves at the beginning of each skill set we train to prepare you for more difficult maneuvers. This workout will be around 15 to 30 minutes long, and you'll be using both short, that's 3 to 4 yard, to long, which is 10 to 12 yard distances. Inside of the foot, 2-touch elevated. Get super close to the wall and receive and pass the ball without putting your foot down. After the pass, you can rest for a second. Keep a rhythm, pass, and enjoy. Balance and believe that you're an advanced player. Confidence in your touch is the first step.
Be chillin' at the top of my game, nothing new by the way, what up with you? True? Yo, bro, a beat hit me up last night. Said he wanted to make one, take one of my...
Outside of the foot, 1-touch elevated. Stand 2 to 3 yards away from the wall and smoothly pass the ball with the outside of your foot 1 time. Your plant foot will need to be ready to move and react quickly, so don't be on your heels. Your leg will need to swing back and forth in a straight line. Keep yourself balanced and calm.
Be chillin' at the top of my game, nothing new by the way, what up with you? True?
2-touch outside to outside. Get around 2 to 3 yards away from the wall, and if you're not used to working with the outside of your foot, you're in luck. I'll help you get used to it. Keep your toe down and make contact on the outside line of your laces. You'll be reaching across your body